free! Welcome back to another installment of Bjerke Bjootcamp. I'm Mr. Bjerke, and today we'll be looking at Etude 2 from the 2020 Texas All-State Etude Selections. Before even looking at this piece, go to the TMEA All-State Band Audition website, linked below, to write in the new breathing spots that they want you to use. After you've done that, come back and we'll continue. The most important thing to keep in mind throughout this piece is air support. Push the air from a low, centered location below the belly button, and make sure that the air location between notes is constant. The airspeed at the end of the first note should be at least as fast as the airspeed at the start of the following one. Be extra picky with yourself, and check if the air is completely constant when moving from note to note, or if the air lets up a tiny bit in between notes. This should result in a feeling like each phrase is one big, smooth air gesture. When going up higher, pair this feeling with more and faster air than you think you need, and make sure that the ratio of work that the air and face are doing stays at 90% air, 10% face. Speaking of playing up higher, make sure you blow past the high notes in each phrase, and don't slow the air down until you're safely back in a lower range for an extended time. If it's just lower for a note or two and then jumps back up, keep the air set for the high range. When going for the high Bs, prepare or set your air support muscles for those notes early. This will make it easier to keep that 90% 10% air to face ratio. Also, make your buzz a cushion for the mouthpiece instead of having it go flat, and keep that buzz small and focused at the beaky part at the front of the top lip. Raise your tongue up when playing above this half to make an E syllable, and possibly open your jaw a tiny bit. It's very easy to have the buzz set up gets distorted in the high range, and opening the jaw can help keep it round. On the second and fourth lines, we have lip trills. I have another video where I go into more detail about these, but my short version of how to lip trill is, feel like you're playing a long tone on the upper note of the trill, and dip down to the lower note for just a moment. The air should be full and fast enough to pop you right back up to the top note. Move the face as little as possible, and keep the air very full and driving horizontally. This is a finesse thing, not a muscle thing. So keep the air to face ratio 90% air, 10% face. The buzz should always feel like it's being propelled forwards by a massive airstream. Lastly, don't feel like you're locking into each pitch. We want to ride the breaking point between the two notes as close as we can and with as little face motion as we can, sort of like you're pitch bending in between them. For fingers, the C trill will be played all open, no thumb, for both notes, and the A trill will be played 1 and 2, no thumb, for both notes. Check out my lip trill video for a more in-depth discussion. Throughout this piece, we encounter triplets. Make sure that these are distinct from the eighth notes surrounding them. On the fifth line, we also have a run of 30-second notes. Practice these slowly, ensuring that you're hitting the centers of all the notes, and gradually speed them up. Keep them filled up with more and faster air than you think you need, and don't breathe after the quarter note high G. This will help with blowing past the highest note in the phrase. On the descent, I personally like to lean into the F sharp, D sharp, B, and A a bit, as I find it helps me keep all the descent notes fuller. One last thing to keep in mind when playing through this etude: dynamics. Bring them out a lot. Many of these swells help drive the air more when we need it most, so make them obvious. I'm going to play this etude twice now, once at a practice tempo and once at a performance tempo. After you've gotten comfortable with the practice tempo, gradually speed up with a metronome until you get the performance tempo that you want. Here's the practice tempo. 1, 2, 3. As I mentioned before, after you're comfortable with this tempo, gradually go faster with the metronome until you hit the tempo that you want. Here's the performance tempo. 1, 2, 3. Thanks for watching. If you have questions about anything discussed here, leave a comment down below. To close out, I'm going to hand things over to my friend Yoda, who has some thoughts on how to play the horn. Not blowing enough air.
Is the path to the dark side.
No air.
It leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate